And welcome to another edition of Open Mic Wrestling Night here, live. If you're listening live, it is the third day of January 2019. I feel like I haven't talked to you all since last year. Ha ha ha. I know. Funny. I am funny. Anyway, got a good show for you today. Thank you again. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're tuning in live, if you're not tuning in live, you're listening to me by way of the Fill in the Void podcast network, also by Spotify and by iHeartRadio. So first order of business, cheers. Just need that little bit of whiskey at the end of the day. Oh dear God. So if you're new to the show, you're going to become very familiar with the fact that I also have a cat here, and this cat likes to make daring and adventurous jumps anywhere that they can that they can go. So also we have a new call-in number, 657-383-0105. If you're listening to me live on Twitch, you can call in, feel free, talk about anything in the world of pro wrestling. But also today we have Barrington, Hughes, Dan, and I know I'm going to butcher these names, and I do apologize, Dan Ragu, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Santeria Cortez. They will be joining me live at around 8:30. So they will be joining me then. I very much look forward to it. I've been happy working with them to get this all straight. So hopefully the first interview with the new line goes really well. So keep our fingers crossed for that. So let me adjust the camera a little bit. All right. And you can tell that there's a castle behind me, which is the cats too. So let me just throw out my things over here. Powerslam.tv. Use the code PWPNation for a free month, the first month for free. Powerhouse Nation, I will be writing my editorials on there again real soon. Squared Circle Apparel, go to squaredcircleapparel.com. Use the code OMWN15 for 15% off your entire order. And, of course, Fill in the Void Podcast Network, where you can hear and download the show after, normally the next day after in which the show airs live. So, there's that. Now that I got all the business taken care of, after the interview, we have a whole bunch to talk about in the world of wrestling between All Elite Wrestling, which has now become official as of New Year's Day. The unfortunate events of the Toni Storm leaks, and so much more, particularly about free agency. But we'll kind of get into that a little bit once the three gentlemen come on with me this episode. So here we go. All Elite Wrestling. It's official now. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Cody Rhodes, Executive Vice Presidents of the company, Tony Khan, President of the company, and Brandy Rhodes, from what I understand, is the Chief Branding Officer of All Elite Wrestling too. And there's so much more to get into it in detail later on in the show. Again, if you want to call up and talk about it, or if you're watching live on Twitch, you're more than welcome to join in on the Twitch chat as well. I have everything up, so hopefully everything goes smooth. And let's think about this for a second. Now that this is official, it's amazing how much of a buzz that this new company has caused. I said it based on... Okay, so as I was trying to say before we got disconnected here, is now with All Elite Wrestling kind of... here we go. Now with All Elite Wrestling being official, I had speculated before the start of 2019 that 2019 would be the best year for pro wrestling. And we're only 3 days into the new year. And I feel that I'm gonna be right. That this is going to be the best year in pro wrestling. A lot of very interesting details. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Again, if you want to call, you're more than welcome to. Everyone, thank you. If you're interested, 657-383-0105. The link is the link. The number is right there on the screen. So we have that all situated now. What kind of pressure does All Elite Wrestling put on everybody else? Whether it be WWE, whether it be Impact, whether it be MLW, whether it be anywhere else really, that does it put any pressure on anybody? I don't know this. I would like to think that, and everyone's complaining and people are complaining, and it makes no sense because, like, I get it. Like I get the people that are like, oh well, what's the big deal with all the hype? I totally get that. I absolutely get that, 100%. But competition's so good for pro wrestling. It really is very good for pro wrestling as a whole, and I honestly believe with with the new company here, it's going to make for interesting changes all around in pro wrestling. Now, one of the details I'll go into right now is supposedly with the connections that Khan has with people around the entertainment industry, obviously, there's talks about impact that All Elite Wrestling will be. Excuse me one second. Okay, here we go. That All Elite Wrestling will be on one of the Turner networks, TNT or TBS. Now, I had said in the past that with WWE doing new deals with Fox and NBC Universal or USA more particularly, that other companies are going to be looked at because these television networks are looking for live broadcast, live programming that people will tune into. And no matter the highs and lows of pro wrestling, people always come back to pro wrestling. And it'll always be there. By the grace of God, it'll always be there. And I'm actually very excited because look at it this way. If you have the WWE on Fox, if you have the WWE on USA, and let's say these rumors are true, because God only knows what's going to actually be discussed at the rally, if you will, for All Elite Wrestling coming up in Jacksonville this week. This next upcoming week, actually. Oh wait, no. Today's Thursday. Yes, it'll be coming up soon. I believe the 5th. I'm sorry if I'm wrong with my information, but they're saying they're talking about Double or Nothing, which I don't doubt. Obviously, they're going to have to because they announced the event. Where is it going to be? Who's going to be on the roster, which they've already made signings outside of the obvious. And now, if they announce that they have a network deal with TBS or TNT, what's that going to do for companies like MLW that, while they have a great relationship with BN, Impact, where they could use a new home? Because now they're going to be on a new network, Pursuit, which reaches less homes than Pop TV. this is going to just make things a little bit more interesting. If other major networks that are in most homes around the United States, if they're going to want in on the programming too, which then in turn creates even more competition for everybody. And competition's good. Like I've said many a times in the past, I was hoping for something like this to happen for the sheer reason that it would definitely make things interesting in wrestling again. WWE would have to step up their game. Talents have to step up their game. There's a video out there now of Cassius Ohno when he did his Evolve events saying, here's my advice, talents, you need to step up your effing game. And he's not wrong. Right now we're in the best period of pro wrestling ever. Best period of pro wrestling ever. And, well, again, with the exception of, the golden age, if you want to call it that, the 1980s, WrestleMania 1 era, the Attitude Era, where many people would say that's the best. Right now, we're in that next great era of pro wrestling, where now with, All Elite Wrestling happening, what does Ring of Honor do with the loss of talents that draw so much attention, like Cody and the Bucks and Hangman? And right now they have Marty Scurll there for a little bit, but who knows how much longer that deal is. I don't know. Does he go there? Does Kenny Omega go to All Elite? New Japan's got to think about that too. So just this one move, this one announcement, this one new company is changing everything. All In changed the way that people looked at wrestling on an independent level, on a major promotional level, obviously with the now announcement of All Elite Wrestling. Cody and the Bucks are changing the game. And maybe it's changing it back to what it used to be before, before the fall of WCW and ECW respectively. So, let's look at it this way then too. The Khan family, apparently, and I read this somewhere. I'm really upset that I didn't get the source for this, but I read somewhere that supposedly the starting budget for this brand new wrestling promotion is $100 million. The Khan family has that money, but for a brand new wrestling company, and you're being given $100 million to practically play with. I mean, I know they're treating it as a business as they should, but geez, if somebody gave me $100 million for a brand new wrestling company, I'm like, oh my god. Think of the possibilities. All the talents you can sign. Now, you got to figure, depending on what they do with TV,